one thing, kind of off topic.
Sure.
And so, so you got nothing against Christians, and you say you're an atheist. Why? What do you think? Because you're not an evil person unless you are like Satan, because Satan can shine himself. He can transform himself like a shimmer in the light. Like,
no, I'm a nice guy behind the scenes too.
Yeah, no, and I know. I know, but I'm just saying, so what would make you get an upside down cross on your face?
To me, it was just a representation of I'm against organized religion as a whole. I think it overall has a net negative effect on society. And, I allow people that. I don't hold it against anybody. Yeah. But for me, my personal worldview is that humanity is better off without religion. And to me, the upside down cross is kind of a symbol of that, which a lot of people kind of don't understand that, or they think that I must be a Satanist or whatever, which I've always been attracted to dark imagery. Yeah. And it doesn't really have anything to do with, like, I don't believe that Satan is real, so I can't be a Satanist. And I would say that most people who wear a T-shirt of a metal band with a picture of Satan on it, I was, hooking up with a girl on camera the other day, and she had a big old tattoo of Satan with fake tits on her back. I'm assuming that she doesn't actually believe that Satan exists. She just likes the imagery of it.
And that does that. And
she was 6'4". So don't tell me that God didn't shine His light upon her, because how else did she end up 6'4"? She's blessed.
Come on, man. It don't matter how tall you is in order for you to have a blessing. From height ain't a blessing. Life is
for a woman, especially.
Yeah, but height's not the blessing. Life is. You feel me? And it's being able to look. See, the thing is, with God is, everybody creating their own testimony. And if that's your testimony, when you go and this is what you got to show God, he gonna say, well, Jamal came on your show. He tried to give it to you. And then it ain't just gonna be me. He gonna allow, you gonna have to reject this. That's what makes God a just God, is that he could throw us all in hell and he could do that. But that would make him evil. But so the thing is, he gives you free will.
But wait, are all the Muslims in O Block going to hell because they don't believe, they haven't got their?
You want me to tell the truth? If you die unrepentant.
If you say no, then I'm going to think you're being dishonest, because that is an important tenet of Christianity. Listen, that everybody's going to hell if they're not saved, right?
Adam, bro.
I mean, I'm just.
Look,
I know. I'm kind of guessing that you are. That you know.
All right, but look though. So I just want to. Bro, why would I do all the things that I'm doing? I love Vaughn. I love my homies. I grew up just like them. Actually, I grew up worse than them because I ain't had what they had. Some of them had their mama. Some of them had some daddy.
That description of the first 10 years of your life sounds worse than nearly everybody I've ever interviewed. That's terrible.
Because they ain't go through, bro. They ain't. Your testimony is your testimony.
Right.
And so what you went through gonna affect you just as much as the things that I went through. Because if that's what you know, that's all you know. And so it's still gonna affect you. So I don't look at what nobody else been through and because I've been through more that, like I'm better than you, or a weird situation like that, because what you go through, I bet it hurts you. I bet it affects you in some type of point of fashion. But on that, if you die unrepentant, you don't, bro, look, see, that's why they created religions. Because they knew a lot of people was going like, man, I think this is, because religion do mess up the world. With God, with us and our Father, it's like you and your son, Adam, if you had a son.
Daughter, but yeah.
Or daughter. And so you love your daughter, but can't your daughter anger you?
She's only 2.5, so I don't know about anger, but yeah.
Right.
No, but the other day I saw a video of a bunch of little kids, and they had opened up like a bucket of sour cream and smeared it all over the entire kitchen. And I was just watching it thinking like, oh man, if my kid does some shit like that, I'm gonna be angry as hell. Like I have not gotten to the point of my kid really doing something that would make me angry yet, up to this point in my life. And it's gonna be kind of weird when I do get to that point where she like destroys something that I'm like I'm really upset about, because up till this point I haven't really had to experience that emotion towards my kid, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. And so like if you was had a boy, or your daughter gets older, your father. And just say, for instance, man, you working hard right now to provide for her.
Right.
In the moment she get older, she don't remember shit you did for her.
Oh yeah.
And so she just ignores you. Father Day come up, she never call. She living her merry life, and you the reason why she in college, got a degree, you doing all these things. And you would damn near have wanting to say like, man, as easy as I brought you in this world, I take you out. I know our parents used to tell us that, like, when you made a black person marry, like, they be so quick. As easy as I brought you in this world, you know I could take you out.
I said that one time as a joke to my kid, and my girl just looked at me and she was like, don't say that.
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's kind of like that God allows for us to have kids so that we can feel like what it feels like when our kids disobey us. God is our father.
Because, all right, when they do studies about people's happiness once they have kids, the truth is that people on average are less happy during the time period of having a kid, but then in the long run, when they rate their existence, they basically say that the kid has given them so much more meaning throughout their life that it does provide them more like long-term happiness. And I get that right now because there are so many things that I could be doing with my time that would be gratifying in the short term if I didn't have a kid. But when I think about living my life without a child, it's like, oh, I would feel like I had so much less purpose or so much less meaning, you know? So it's like in the long run, it gives you that. But in the short term, you're not going to the club. You're not hanging out with your friends on the block or going and just kicking it with the homies or whatever. Like all this stuff, a lot of it kind of goes out the window. Yeah.
Responsible.
I'm pretty focused on that.
Yeah, but all right, back to the topic. You feel me? And I was just trying to get that because, like, man, when we disobey God, He love you, Adams. You still here.
Yeah.
People, you think it's. Wait, hold up. So I'll give you a story to let you know this ain't no coincidental nothing with God. I just want to give a story. And first, before we get there, yes, if we do, it doesn't, look, it's not about a religion. God just wants your time. Just like if you had a kid and you to help them, all you want is them to, man, thank you for this life, Pops. Thank you for whatever, all this that you allow for me to be. You helped me get here. And God, that life that's even in your, if your life was your own, Adam, you wouldn't die. If your life was your own life and you was the author of this story, you wouldn't die.
Right.
But God set death as a sign to show you nobody. This my world. If man was so great in creating technology that's doing all these good things, then why man ain't extend days to life?
Right.
Impossible.
And it's probably better that way. You don't want to live forever. You see what people look like when they're 90. They're not exactly having a great time.
Because the flesh is tainted. Nobody wants to live in a body that's always stressed out, depressed. And so that's why he got you in this body. And that's why when you going and you living in the world, you might have a lot of money. But don't it be that? Have you ever had a time where you just was like, man, fuck this. This money ain't happy. This money ain't nothing.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
So you feel like you're missing something. And then you might get a wife, you might get some kids, but then it might feel good for it when because if it's new, it feels good, but then it's gonna be some time. I'm still missing something. This money ain't filling this void. It's the Father in heaven that you're missing. It's not about no religion, brother. I'm not in no religion. I got a relationship with God. Religion is for those who don't know God. Religion is man-made.
You go to church?
No. Really? I am the church.
You don't get in, because I feel like a lot of people I've known throughout my life who have a relationship with God, the church is the thing. Like I remember saying to my mom and trying to convince my mom that God wasn't real when I was like a teenager. And my mom's defense of religion would be to say, when I was down bad, when I had this problem in my life, when your father went to prison, etc., those people in the church, they were there for me. Yeah. And I remember telling her, Mom, you could have joined a bowling league. And they would have been there for you too. That has nothing to do with whether God is real or not. And I remember my mom looking at me like, you are a real motherfucker. Like you're a real piece of shit. So your mom's a believer. She was, but I feel like she won't admit to it, but I haven't heard her talk about God in probably 20 years. I feel like my atheism rubbed off on her to the point where she just kind of, at a certain point. I think she used religion when she needed it. Like when my dad went to prison, religion was very useful to her. And then once life became a little bit easier, she just didn't really have a relationship with it anymore, which is probably like that for a lot of people.
A lot of people. And that's why, and because God said that, he said, man, I reached out my hand, but these people did not notice. And so God will get you out of a situation, but he will allow for the situation to happen so he could get you out. With the hopes that, damn, man, I'm going to let this happen to Adam. And if I get him out, because can't no man get you out, can't no man change the heart of another man, but God can. And so he get you out of a certain situation. He want to see, will you reverence that to God, or will you was just thinking that, oh, this just happened by luck. This just happened by chance.